afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ham Radio Basics Live, Season 3, Episode 7, Ham Radio News and Updates 2/19/2025. Welcome, Cooley, and welcome, James. Thank you guys for stopping by. It's here. We're having something we haven't had in a long time. Rain. Yeah. We seriously haven't had. Usually during the winter months, sometimes we may go like a couple months without rain, and it's been a good month and a half, almost 2 months since we've had some rain. So it's very welcome here. UTV and Ham, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Got some. We're going to take a look at some videos that have been posted out there from some of the guys. They've done a really good job. I'm going to focus on one of them. Really want to kind of talk about that. Hamcations wrapped up a couple of weeks ago. We're looking forward to Hamvention coming up in May in Dayton. I'm not going to be able to go to Hamvention. However, we are still thinking about going down to Snow and Ice here 12. Yeah, I know. It's horrible. It's horrible up north. I know my kids and daughter and son-in-law are having a bad time of it up in Ohio. Yeah, I know that. And I have a real good friend over in New Jersey. He's having a bad time of it as well, too. It's just not very conducive at all. So, yeah, I really feel I lived up there for 50 years. So, yeah, I really feel for you guys. Seriously, I do. And I'm thankful not to have to deal with that kind of stuff again. Wow. Okay. Oklahoma. Okay. Wow. Yeah. It's bad everywhere. Like, I know Ohio. I know Pennsylvania, where I'm originally from, and also know New Jersey. It's just not good out there at all. Like I said, what I thought I'd like to do, there's several videos that I saw out there, and I reposted them out on my X. I want to say Twitter, but okay, we're kind of frozen here, so let's see what's going on here. All right, I'm going to talk like we're still on the air. There's some videos out there that sorry about freezing there for a second here. Let's go ahead and get that up on the screen here. There's a really good, you guys know Salt Walt Hudson, Coastal Waves and Wires, put out a great video here. Why every ham should be an ARRL member. This is why every ham radio operator should be a member of the American Radio Relay League. Great video from Walt. First of all, he's got a book coming out about antennas. So, and I can tell you right now, I'm already buying it. I haven't seen a link for it, but I'm definitely going to buy it, and I'll probably buy one to give away on the channel here. Walt does such a great job on that. This is a really good video, and he brings up a lot of great points, and I agree with him 100%. ARRL is a good organization at its core, all right? But there are a lot of things that really need to be reworked with ARRL. Holy cow. He sure is, James. I absolutely love him. I've had some chats with him offline, and I'm going to try to get him back on soon. He's just a great person to be around. He keeps things simple, and I really like that. Ham Radio Basics, he fits right in line with my philosophy for ham radio. You guys know that, and I'm really thankful to be good friends with him. One of the things that he talked about on there was, that they're good at the core, but they do need, they do need to get up with the times. Okay. Their website, QRZ's website, everything, they're just so far behind the times. They're really not engaged with social media like they should be. And I think a large part of that is due to the fact they need to get some young blood in there. All right. No disrespect to the organization itself, but they need to start thinking younger, because, when, for example, I know there's a ham radio club by me, and their average age there is probably 75. And, when those members pass away, they don't have younger members there. I was going to join there, and then I saw that, and there's no one to carry the torch there. And the same thing is kind of going on with ARRL. They need to get younger people into the organization. I think that really would help. Yeah, James, he does so much justice. He not Radio Oddity, but Zygo should pay him good money because he's a great spokesperson for them. He really does. That G90 is just, and I want to get one too. That's on my list this year of radios to get. It's just like, it's a perfect, you don't want to call it QRP, but it's not a full-fledged, HF, but it does 20 watts, but boy, he makes that radio sing, and he picks up some incredible contacts with that. And, he puts together some homebrew antennas, and he really makes some great contacts with that radio. But the whole point and the whole gist of this video is definitely join ARRL. I know there's a lot of people that got dissatisfied. They had some missteps when they decided to go ahead and not print the magazines anymore. And just have it on digital. That's not a good thing. They need to go back, print the magazines. All right. I know it's cost involved, but they need to do that. They lost a lot of members that way. And I think they need, Andy, welcome. Good to see you this afternoon. They need to get back to doing that, because when they get back to doing something like that, that really speaks volumes for them listening to people out there, and listening to the members out there. Yes, James. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. They have such a great impact. And I know I put out a video when I first started the channel about ARRL, and I'm still excited about them. They still offer some great services. For example, they offer, not a lot of people know about it, they have insurance for ham radios there, and it's very reasonable. And I got to remind myself, because my policy's coming up due in a couple of months, but it's very reasonable, the rates that they charge for insurance. Not a lot. I checked with State Farm because I have personal articles policy on my drones for my drone channel, and that works well. But they were kind of iffy on ham radio stuff. But ARRL had a link. I went out there, I followed it, and their insurance plan is absolutely fantastic. They also provide some good resources. They have some good kits out there that you can get. Incredible books. Very helpful in terms of your ham radio experience. They do a lot of things very well, but there's some things that they need to pick up on. Then they need to revamp those websites. They need to get back to printing copies of those magazines. I don't even want to see them on digital. I want a hard copy. I don't want, when I get a magazine, if I'm flying on a plane and I have access to it, that's great. But when I'm at home, I like to sit down. Dronioki. ARRL's insurance plan is golden here. It really is. It really is. They're on the cusp right now, and I'm really hoping that they decide to add some younger people in terms of their board and their makeup and things, and really try to getting to think in terms of the next generation of ham radio operators. I'm in my mid-60s, okay? But a young chicken by a lot of means, as far as ham radio is concerned. But there are a lot of youth coming up here, and our good friends, James at Ham Radio Prep, Test Prep, they do a great job. They're getting a lot of people into the hobby. We need to be forward thinking as far as that's concerned. But spend some time, watch that video. I know you guys love Walt. Every video is a treat from him. He does a great job on this. Again, he is a proponent and a supporter of ARRL like I am, but he's wanting to see some changes, and some good changes, and some positive changes to the organization. Make sure you drop him a comment and like his video. He just does such a great job for ham radio. I really like him. He's one of my favorite guys out there. I just can't say enough nice things about him. Yeah, it does, Dronioki. Yeah, when you get when you get it in the mail, there's something about having that, and having that hard copy in hand. I always have been a big proponent of that. Just always. So yeah, that's. Now, the next one here, Jason put out a great video here, and apparently, this has been coming up for a vote for several years in a row, and it's the Amateur Radio Preparedness Act reintroduced again. U.S. Senators Roger Wicker, Republican Mississippi, and Richard Blumenthal, Democrat Connecticut, and Representative, and I can't see that. And basically, what this is it's legislation that is aimed for ham radio operators, and especially those of us that live in HOAs, because as you know, in an HOA, it's next to impossible, without, you have to get approval to, put a flag. I can put a 20-foot flagpole in, so I can get a flagpole antenna up there anytime. But what this legislation does is it's stating rather the obvious here, that especially in times of, emergency, and, for us in Florida, it's a no-brainer with hurricanes. Communication is essential, and a lot of times normal means of communication will go down, especially here in Florida. Strong wind could come along and knock out some of the cell towers. And where are you? Okay, most people don't have landlines anymore, and they have cells, and they're really kind of scrambling for communication. That's obviously not the case for me. And that's why I got into ham radio in the first place. But what this legislation would do, it would pass a law stating, that HOAs could not, prohibit antennas from being erected on people's property, because ham radios are useful in emergency situations. And it's just not here in Florida, but all around in emergency situations, being able to do that. And, of course, it needs to be done in good taste, and, and try to keep, aesthetics and things like that. You don't want to, like where I live, okay, in a plane, but you don't want to put up a 50-foot tower. But you can definitely put up like a 20, 30-foot flagpole. That would be good. I mean, I could do that now if I wanted to. Logistics of, my big thing is my logistics is running that coax from the antenna to the house. That normally that would not be a problem, but there are irrigation lines in there, and I don't want to break those irrigation lines because I don't want to have to pay for them. So, it's been a mess, and it's been a nightmare, but I could get one approved to do that. But, this legislation has been proposed before. It's come up before. And, if you contact your congressman, contact your U.S. senators, tell them to go ahead and, voice your approval for this bill to finally get it passed, because it just seems like it dies every year when it goes out there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly, James. They're out there and I get it, and I understand, and they do a lot of good things, but, they are not the end all and be all as far as, law and enforcement and things like that. And, having a ham radio is beneficial. And I think, this legislation would make it legal to be able to do that in an HOA. And of course, you want to keep it within guidelines, keep it aesthetically pleasing, that type of thing. And of course, you would obviously, if you're putting up an antenna, you'd want to ground it properly, follow all the rules, have a good electrician come out and help you out. You gotta get that, copper rod down there, 8-foot rod down there, and make sure that it's especially here in Florida, because Tampa Bay's, we don't call our hockey team the Lightning for nothing. We are considered one of the lightning capitals of the world, and there is a lot of lightning here during months that we have storms. It's really kind of cool. Hey, Chris, glad you're part of the broadcast today. Excuse me. Hey, Ronnie, welcome. Thanks for stopping by today. So if you have time, contact your congressman, your U.S. senator, tell them to go ahead and voice your approval for the Amateur Radio Preparedness Act. It needs to get passed. That's the only way we're going to get this done, and it's going to make it easier for those of us that live in HOAs, especially, to get that done here. So, now, Jason, one of the things I think Jason does really well is he puts these lists together, these best of lists together. And he put together a best of list of handheld off-grid in 2025 radios. And I really like that list. I was kind of hoping I have a couple of TID radios, the H3 and the H8, and I did reviews on them. They're on the channel, of course. I was really hoping he would be including those, but he didn't. And I'm kind of hoping that maybe in the future he might consider that. I dropped that in the comment in the video for him. But this is a great list, and Jason does a great list with this. I mean, with these lists, top radios of the year, top mobile HF radios, top mobile UHF VHF radios. He really puts a lot into these lists, and he does a great job with that. And these are really good guides to go by. And a lot of these radios he owns and uses himself, so it's not speaking from just a standpoint of I don't have the radio, but I like it kind of thing. No, he owns most of these radios out there. So let's see, open spot. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. That's very cool, Droney Oki. If you got a picture of it, send it to me either at hamradiobasics@gmail.com or buildadronereviewer@gmail.com. I would love to see a picture of that if you could. That would be fantastic. Okay. Weather 1992, KLNIT. Thank you for stopping by today. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, Jason does a great job with those lists. So that would be something I would really recommend. Now, our good friend Mike, K8MRD, ham radio tube, as he calls himself now. What is the proper way to give signal reports? He did a great job on this, because a lot of people out there, and there was a lot of discussion, especially in the comments section of this video, about using your S meter and so forth and everything. And basically, for me, one of the things that I was taught, and I watched several videos, don't rely on your S meters, because propagation can change, things can change with that. One of the things, I rely a lot upon my ears with this when I'm given a signal report. And a lot of people don't do that, but I do. And they'll blanket everybody. If they're doing a POTA 5.9, you're 5.9, you're 5.9. Every boom, boom, boom. No, if somebody's a 5.7, I'll say you're a 5.7. If somebody's a 5.5, I'll say you're a 5.5. If I'm hearing somebody loud and clear, and they're coming in pretty strong, I'm going to give them a 5.9. If they're a little off, I'll give them a 5.7. If I can kind of fuzzy hear them, I'll say, you guys are you're a 5.5 there. Just, I'm very honest and upfront with that. I want to make sure that people know that. And when you do that as a ham, this is a good point here. And I'm glad Mike took some time to talk about this, especially if you're a new ham and you're getting a signal report. You want an honest signal report. You don't want somebody just saying a 5.9 when you're really a 5.5. And you want to know that. You want to know this information. Maybe you need to, tune your radio to that station again. Maybe you need to throw some more, radials out there, to help with your propagation, and check your SWR. There's a lot of things, but I think it's important that when you do this, that you're honest about what you're saying is your signal report and what kind of signal report you're giving to somebody. Because I think a lot of people will just go out there, like I said again, and 5.9, 5.9, 5.9. And that's not the way to go. You really need to listen. You need to understand what's going on. And I think it really helps that person on the other end of the microphone, know where they're at as far as that's concerned. So that's a great video. And Mike does a great, it's Mailbag Monday video. Excuse me. He does a great, Yep. Yeah, I agree, James. I agree 100%. Absolutely. Absolutely here. So let's go ahead on to. Now, Michael Martins is just a fantastic resource. He just does such a great job. He's fantastic on antennas, and what he's done in his work with POTA is second to none. This is a great video, and what he did, 10 things you always wanted to know, POTA and ham radio. He gets asked a lot of questions, and what he did was he really kind of compiled that into this video, and I thought he did a really good job with that, because so many people have so many basic questions and a lot of times they go unanswered. Well, Michael took the time to get the top 10 of these questions, and he put that together in this video, and he really did a good job on that. So you definitely want to take a few minutes to go out there and I'm sorry, guys. He really takes a real good look at all these questions and comes up with some great answers. So this is a video you should watch. I would definitely recommend that. He does a really good job with that. No, our good friend Bob from HOA Ham put together a video of what he picked up at Hamcation. As you know, Bob lives in the Tampa area. I really would like to get with him sometime. His schedule is about as crazy as mine, and we haven't had a chance to get together. But he shows what he picked up at Hamcation, and he did a good job. He got some great things there. So you definitely want to take a look at that. Now, one of his other videos, and I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. Seven no tuner ham radio bands with 163-foot end fed wire. That's not possible. And well, it was possible, and he did it in this video, and he did a great job. And this is another video you need to watch. He does a great job. And one of the things about Bob, and understand, he lives in an HOA, and he does all this in an HOA, and he really did a great job with this. I was very impressed with how he did and what he does with this. And again, and it's concealed. It's not obvious what he does, and he does a great job. And he uses everything around him. So, and see, for me, one of the things I have two obstacles as far as where I live is concerned. One, I told you about the irrigation system, but the other one is they cut our grass, and they also trim the trees and everything. So I really can't run wires. I know a lot of people say, why don't you run an end fed half wave or do this or this? So I got a lot of trees. I could do that, but the problem is they come along with their lawnmowers, and it would be in their clippers when they're trimming trees and stuff, and boom, it would be gone. So yeah, that's where I gotta do the flagpole type of thing, and I gotta figure out a solution to the irrigation issue. So yeah, absolutely. Oh, Steve is fantastic, James. I absolutely love Steve. Got a chance to meet him in Hamcation this year. That's the thing I miss the most about not going to Hamcation this year. Of course, my schedule didn't permit it, but seeing everybody and get a chance to say hi to everybody and shaking their hands. I mean, it was good. I got to meet Smoking Ape last year. Got to meet Steve. Got to meet Jason. Got to meet Josh from Ham Radio Crash Course. Number of other guys out there. Mike, Kate, MRD from Ham Radio Tube. Just some great guys. Just an absolutely fantastic meeting them. Having a chance to talk with them for a few minutes was really good. And it's good to put a name with a face and everything. And everybody does a great job out there. Really, really, really happy with that. And I don't know if you guys have looked lately or not. And I'm trying to find. I don't know if I have that bookmarked or not. But there's a gentleman from the Tampa area, and I'll see if I can find this on here. Let's see here. I'm trying to look for this here under replies here. Trying to find it. Let's see here. Yeah, CJ here. CJ's just got his technician license. He just set up a Yaesu, I think an FT-710, if I'm not mistaken. Set up an antenna. He lives on the other side of Tampa, Tarpon Springs, I believe. And he's so excited and so enthusiastic about it. And and this is what really, really gets me. And by the way, if you see him, drop him a line. He's out on Twitter a lot here. CJ is his name. It's you can take a look at that here. Follow him and send him a note of encouragement, because he's getting a lot of stupid flack from sad hams out there. And that just irks the daylights out of me. And, they're correcting him on things, for example, he's out there and he's trying to get to know, what the bands are and things. And he misspoke about what the bands are. And there's some hams that jumped on his neck for that. And somebody jumped on his neck for using ham radio in small case instead of ham radio in uppercase, and just some stupid stuff out there. And just these guys, oh my gosh, yeah. I already did N3WER. I did spend some time about that, but I'm really hoping. I know Jason did a video on it, and I talked about that for a few minutes. And I was, this is something. This seems to be keep coming up each year, and they try to present it, and it just, it dies for some reason. And I think the thing is, and I think we need to go ahead and really call our congressmen and our senators and tell them to go ahead and vote for this, so it'll actually will pass, instead of just languishing out there and then just dying a death like these bills do. But yeah, I already did. So if you want to go back and rewatch that part of it, you're welcome to do it after we get this posted out there. But yeah, I did talk about that, and I'm really hopeful that it will pass this time around. I really would like to see that happen. So that's it for today. Like I said, go out there and find CJ and drop him a line of encouragement. I'm sure he really could use it, because, like I said, there's some sad hams out there that are just sad hams. That's all I'm going to say. They don't deserve any more attention than that. CJ's a great guy. He's learning, and I went out there and I'm trying to encourage him, and he really appreciate those of you who are going out there and encouraging it. If you get a chance, go out there, follow him, drop him a note of encouragement. I'm sure he would really appreciate that. He just passed his technician test. He's so excited, and I want to try to keep that excitement going for him. I think it's so important, and I think a lot of us remember what it was like when we first passed our test and got on the radio for the first time. And he's so enthusiastic about it. He's really enjoying it. Drop him a line. I'm sure he would really appreciate that. So hope you guys are all doing well. I know it's cold up north. Hope you guys stay warm, stay safe, and keep comfortable. And as always, guys, it's a great day to make a QSO. 7-3s, everybody. Have a great rest of your evening.